All right, we're back. Back in the saddle. Part 2 of our little roster breakdown, coaching change, Buckeye offseason show. Hopefully a couple of you guys can hop back in here. Sorry about the technical difficulties. The mobile live gets a little squirrely on me. Getting people in and out of the show. What's up, Joe? What's up, Megan? Sorry, guys. Sorry, Joe. Got a little wild there. Sometimes this thing just locks up. I can't really always figure it out, but it's all good. I'm gonna send the invite out here to the legend Benny Spangs. I know he's ready to go. What's up, Benny? It should be coming now, man. Let's get into it, brother. Me and Ben have been trying not to go over this stuff, saving it for the show. Here he is, the legendary Benny Spangs, live from Sunbury, Ohio. There he is.
Cheers, buddy.
Hey, cheers. Let me get my coffee. How you doing, brother?
Fantastic, man. We're still national champs, right?
Last time I checked, we are still the champs.
Yep. That's what I thought.
Man, it feels good, doesn't
Love it. Love it.
It is soaking it all in. Sometimes do you ever just have moments throughout the day when you're just like, oh yeah, we're the champs.
Yeah, just randomly I'll walk into Kroger and see a magazine or like a national championship shirt or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, let me put a little more pep in my step.
Like
That's
we
right.
did. Yeah, it's crazy how uplifting it is. And it's just like me and Joey said, it's emotional. I'm not even scared to admit it. I got emotional more about this than any other sporting event. Just the whole playoff run. It's just a crazy
playoff
story.
run was awesome.
Crazy ride. It was so.
Next closest thing for me would have been the Cavs championship.
Oh,
for Cleveland to finally win something, that was huge to me.
No, that was.
But this is right up there.
Right.
That playoff run.
It was the feeling of like hopeless, and not like hopelessness, because we had faith. We knew that we were still like the best team in the country, but it just we felt so beaten down there, and it sucked.
Oh, speaking of beaten down, you know what's funny is that even after the end of November and into the playoff run, I saw a lot of stupid hats with a certain letter on them, with certain like blue and dumbass yellow. I don't see those hats anymore out in public.
Not too many.
Weird.
They've crawled back into their holes.
Yep. Puxatawny Phil.
What's up, fella? I see Jameson got back in there. What's up, brother? Joey got in there. He's cried multiple times. It happens. Sometimes you just get emotional. It's just. You
let those tears loose in the Caribbean.
I'll tell you, a guy who didn't cry was Batman, Coach Knowles.
What a fucking douche. Yeah, JTT telling the story of how on game day he would just calls him Batman because he hides in his cave. So hopefully whatever game plan you came up with this week, nothing needs to be tweaked. You have nothing to go over. You just hide in your office and then walk out on the field. I've never heard or seen any coach ever do that. Have you ever heard of that?
No, sounds kind of strange. No. Sounds like he's an introvert, kind of works well by himself. I mean, JT
sounds did like a sociopath.
Yeah, he did compliment the game plans and said, he came out with some great stuff, but I'm just not so sure that, after the Oregon game, the first Oregon game, I don't think a lot of the game plan was Knowles,
Well, no, I think it probably was, but Ryan Day had I believe, a big helping hand because, that was the reason Knowles got pissed because Ryan Day started to be in there. Guess what? He runs the program. If the offense is struggling, he's going to be in more offensive meetings. If special teams sucks, guess where he's going to spend a good amount of time? The defense was not playing well at that point. After that bye, they came out and played lights out. I mean, everybody turned it up. Jack and JTT got more pressure. You saw, Simon just laying wood. Noah was even more physical somehow, which, I guess Davison. I don't know why he changed his name. Noah Davison, whatever. Iggy was much more physical, which I didn't think was possible. You started seeing Downs playing all over the place. Much more in the box, because how big was that down the stretch? Having Downs just in the box, perfect position. And so, I think Ryan Day deserves credit for some of that. And for you to be butthurt because the head coach wants to come share some of his knowledge with you is a very dumb thing. Like, how highly do you think of yourself? And you're giving up like 35 points.
Right.
You can't take anything from Ryan Day?
Well,
I didn't understand that at all. What a baby back bitch. It
it's
makes
the
a
toughest.
lateral move
I know
to a
it's a
team that
it's a
is not
crazy
known for their
situation.
offense. When you say Penn
Mhm.
State, what do you think of?
I mean, I don't know, losing to Ohio State.
Well, that too, but I think of defense. I certainly don't think of them putting up 35 points.
Right.
You know, I go back to LeVar Arrington and some of the guys that they've had come out of there.
Linebacker, you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gerard
D
Warren.
lineman. Yeah.
What a great pick that was.
Mhm.
Speaking of the Browns, Cleveland.
Yeah. Back when Larry
Uh,
Johnson was there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Uh,
Knowles, the thing I want to give him some credit though, because however butthurt he was, and his feelings were hurt because his 3-3-5 defense wasn't doing it in the Big
it
Ten.
doesn't work. It doesn't
No,
work in the Big Ten. The
doesn't work.
Pac-12 is different. You can't have three down linemen in the Big Ten, or you're going to get
No, you
bullied
get
all
worked.
game.
Yep. And I mean, it's so funny. I went back, I was watching some of our old shows because the three against Oregon, that first game, we seriously were rushing three. We had 8 guys, and
Yeah,
Gabriel's just back there picking apart our zone. He was back there all day. And then, like you said, it was like a switch got flipped. The next
yeah,
game, and we were all talking on our show, Blitz City, 4 down linemen, blitzes,
yep.
just aggressive. So it was like,
Yeah.
and
Do you
yeah,
remember when he had Tyleek out in the flats? What is a 300
no,
pound man doing out in the flats?
he's
If you're a
athletic.
quarterback, I don't care if you're a complete shitter playing for a D3 program and you see a running back doing a little wheel route out into the flats. Oh, okay. That guy's 300 pounds, right? Yeah, I'm just going to throw it to my running back.
Mismatch. No, yeah,
Yeah, just dumb
that
shit like
switch
that.
was flipped. I think Knowles then was just
What's
in
up,
his
Joe Pa?
office, just surfing the internet. Yeah, what's up, Prince? I think Knowles was just in his office. He wasn't being Batman. He was just playing Minecraft, playing Fortnite or something.
Back there watching Two Girls, One Cup.
Watching something, not game planning. No, but like you said, Day's hanging out with the defense more. Now we're reading all this stuff, and
Yeah,
the season goes on, but it's just so crazy because then it worked. Like the defense worked. These guys are playing
yeah,
free, they're flying around, and we are just wrecking havoc every game. Went on a
yeah.
legendary run, and then that's what I give Knowles the credit for. He kept his mouth shut until the end, and it was a little sloppy at
But
the
did
end.
he though?
But
Because we read everything about how irritated other coaches were. So behind closed doors,
oh
where us
yeah,
as a public, us as fans didn't get to see it or hear about it because it's a
right.
very tight team. You know, it's
Mhm.
a family, so you don't want to talk shit about your family. But in the locker room, you know, clearly based on the things that
Mhm.
I've read, there were many people not happy with Knowles,
Yeah,
and were very happy
sure.
to see him leave.
Mhm.
What's up, Megan?
I'm happy for our guys to keep it in house, like you're saying though. It
Yeah,
didn't get out. They kept it in house like a good team does, like a
yep.
good family does. You don't let
Yeah,
those
they didn't point
problems
fingers after the
affect things.
Oregon loss, didn't point fingers after the Michigan loss. Instead,
Exactly.
they came together, which I think
Hmm.
having all those seniors back helped immensely in that
Hmm.
aspect.
And just like parents, when you do that arguing or that kind of working things out away from the kids, the coaches did that away from the players because the players were just as shocked as we were that Knowles didn't show up to the celebration and that he was gone. I mean, you saw him tweeting and
Yeah,
making posts like, "What? I mean, Jim, he's
where is
gone?"
he?
Like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
just a crazy situation too. Ohio State would not go above 2.75
No,
mil.
hey, you know what? Go get
They
your money.
said,
Same
they
thing with
said
Chip.
that's
You know,
it.
I got no problem with it. Chip's getting
Oh.
6 million at the
Mhm.
Raiders. He's the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league
I
right
knew that
now.
you'd know that figure, 6 million. Wow.
6 million. Now he doesn't
Good
have
for
shit to
him.
work with. He's got a good center that'll be in his
Yeah,
second year from West Virginia, and he's got probably future Hall of Famer Brock Bowers. They
yeah.
have maybe a B minus wide receiver. Everything else is garbage. The entire backfield, quarterback, all their running backs, the rest of their wide receivers are garbage, and the rest of their offensive line is garbage. He's got his work cut out for him. But
Sounds
six
like it.
million, 6 million, and you're out of Columbus and you're living in Nevada.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna blame him at all. Hey, you got a natty here. Now you're getting 6 million, living in warm weather. You go right ahead, Chip. Thank you,
Thank you for your
thank you.
service.
Yeah, and I'm happy because I heard you and Joey talk about it. Last time an offensive coordinator left the team, we won a national championship. Thank you, Bill O'Brien, for going to Boston College.
Yep. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. That worked out perfect, didn't it?
Yeah.
Who knows what would have
Actually,
happened
thank
if
you,
that didn't
Jeff
happen?
Hafley, for leaving Boston College and going to Green Bay, allowing Bill O'Brien to step in at Boston College. A lot of people to thank in our national championship shout outs that
Oh yeah.
people think might be irrelevant. But all these pieces came into place.
Yeah, it all worked out perfect. The Chip Kelly,
It
it's just
did.
so crazy. Looking back, he was here 1 year, like one wild year, But hopefully,
Greatest one
Hartline
year
learned.
anybody's ever had at Ohio State,
Yeah.
outside of Maurice Claret.
So Hartline has had a lot of OCs to learn from, too.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean, this
and they
guy,
kept saying, it's going to be, well, he's not ready yet. He's not ready yet. He's not ready. He's been here 8 years. He's
oh,
not ready now. When's he going to be ready? So
oh,
let's go. Let's
exactly,
get this
yeah.
thing started.
Stoneman, I'm so excited to see his just his style and what he's going to do here.
Hmm.
I mean, we're going to be throwing it a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
why
I think it's going
not?
to be a little more of an open offense. Probably going to be, even though we already play out of the shotgun almost every freaking snap, but I think it's going to be a little more open. I think it's going to be creative like Chips was, where you'll see a lot of different plays out of the same formation. Because why wouldn't you do that?
Right.
Um, and I think it's great because he's going to be calling plays, but he's got Ryan Day there. I mean, Ryan Day learned from Chip Kelly, has called plays
Hmm.
here himself before, and we should probably say thank you to Zach Smith as well for diddling his babysitter getting fired, which allowed Hartline
To
to
get
go
the
from
job.
like offensive quality control to wide receivers coach.
Yes.
Thank you, Zach Smith, for being a dipshit.
Yep. And I'm excited about Chip was our quarterbacks coach this past season,
Hmm.
but he did have some help from an
Yeah.
offensive
Oh,
assistant.
Billy.
It's Billy Fessler, which I
Hmm.
find funny. There was the coach before Woody Hayes, Wes Fessler. I had to look that up to see if they were related, but there's
No
only one,
relation.
no relation, two S's in Billy Fessler's name. I thought that'd be cool if they were related. This Fessler guy, I'm
Yeah.
trying to get to the bottom of it, Ben, because he came here as a grad assistant and he was
Hmm.
here in 2020 and 21 and worked with Fields and CJ.
Yep.
Did a lot of good work with them, and they both speak highly of him, as did Will Howard in that thank you video that Will just released.
Yeah,
He
that's
he,
true.
g- he
That
gave
is
Billy a
true.
special shout out and said this guy's really good. So that's the new quarterback coach, and man, I'm pretty excited about old Billy boy.
Yeah. I know he left and then stayed in state. Went up to Akron, I believe, was
Akron?
quarterback coach
Yeah.
for a year, and then immediately got promoted to offensive
Coordinator.
coordinator,
Yeah.
and then back here. You know where he played at college?
Maryland, I believe. No,
Penn State.
that's our OC. I'm mixing them up. Yeah,
Yep.
Penn State guy to tie it
Yeah.
back. Yeah, he's a Penn
I
State
know.
walk on.
Got a Maryland guy and Penn State guy. Keep them coming.
Keep
Now,
him
if we can
rolling,
get
man.
Bryant Haynes, old Piqua guy, currently DC for Indiana, if we just can pull him back in,
Yeah,
let
give
him
us the
be our
rundown
DC,
on that,
that'd be
Ben. Let's
great.
talk. Let's talk some defensive coordinator. We all know Knowles is out, and that's the one thing that none of us really have any idea. So lay it on us, Ben. Who's the new DC going to be?
Again, like I said, I would love to see Bryant Haynes. He is 39, I
Haynes.
believe. He is
Yep.
the current Indiana defensive coordinator.
Mhm.
Last year, they allowed only 15.6 points per game, and that's playing us. So to average
Yeah.
only 15.6 is pretty good. And they only finished behind Ohio State in total yards per game at 256.3. We all know Atlanta, or not Atlanta, but Indiana isn't exactly known for fantastic athletes. So to be able to come up with a scheme to keep teams under 260 yards, imagine what he could do here with Downs. You got
Oh yeah.
Jermaine Matthews in his third year, Arvell Reese in his third year, Cade McDonald. There's a lot of pieces here that he could work with.
Oh yeah.
He did recently sign a contract with Indiana, but we all know Ohio State has deep pockets, and whatever that buyout is, we'll just go over to New Albany and ask old Wetzner, hey, Wes, need
Tony
about
up a
$5
couple
million, get
dollars.
this guy over here.
Yeah, we'll
And he will
see.
say,
I'm wondering how his allegiances lie, like how dedicated is he to Signetti?
yeah,
How
he was
loyal
with
has
him
he
at
been?
James Madison for two
Right.
years and followed him to Indiana.
Hmm.
Um, but I believe he has ties to Ohio State. I think he was a GA here for a minute as well. And
Well,
again, he was born in Piqua. So he was
Pickle boy.
born in Ohio, and I believe
Hmm.
he was a GA here at Ohio State. So he has ties.
Man, I'd love to have him, Mr. Haynes. You got any other hopefuls or any other people on the watch list for DC?
Man, I don't know because I don't know what they're looking for. Last time they brought in Knowles, who had experience from all over the place. So that they want somebody like that has college and NFL experience, can run different systems, has
Hmm.
worked at big programs, so they understand, what the expectations are. What does Ryan Day want them to run? Because we talked about with Knowles, he wanted to run that 3-3-5, which is great for Pac-12, not great for Big Ten. So, what is Ryan Day looking for? Does he want experience? Does he want somebody that's versatile in their system? Does he want somebody from the Big Ten or the SEC that knows what, you know,
Hmm.
hard-nosed football is? But again, he got Jim Knowles from Oklahoma State. So I have no idea what Ryan Day is looking for.
Yeah, I kind of was honestly doing research with this other stuff before the show, and I spent 10 minutes. I couldn't find anything besides
There's
Haynes, and
hardly
then
anything out there.
there's not even any rumors. So it's
No.
kind of crazy. What wouldn't it be cool if we got the same way, this is kind of a popular opinion. We got Chip, he was a head coach. What if we got a head coach to be our DC? That would be pretty cool. Some
Yeah.
defensive minded head coach right now in college or
Yeah,
even
somebody
pro.
that's done with the transfer portal, done with NIL like Chip was. Hey, look
Exactly.
at Chip. Chip didn't even go be a head coach at a different college program. No, he's still going to be an OC, just at another
Hmm.
level and getting paid like 4 times what he made here. Oh, and speaking of money, I forgot to mention this about Brian Hartline.
Hmm.
He made $1.6 million last year, and he also made 1.6 million in 2023. He is the 16th overall highest paid assistant coach of any position in college football.
Not bad. Did he just get a
Not
big pay
bad.
raise too? Obviously, he had to have got a big
Well,
raise, right?
I would imagine he's going to get a raise because he's going from wide
That's
receiver coach to wide receiver coach,
gotta
offensive
be
coordinator.
gotta be up 2.5, 3 million, somewhere up
Yeah,
in
but
there.
he's been co-offensive coordinator for a
Yeah.
while. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think when they sign him, I think I've told you and Joey, make it a $50 million buyout to take him away because no school is going to want to take and pay $50 million to Ohio State to get him to leave.
Yeah.
I
I
want him to have opportunity, but I don't want him to leave.
I really think Hartline is like the most loyal dude ever to Ohio State. I think he wants to be head coach here someday. He's a
I agree.
Massillon kid, right? Canton or Massillon,
Yeah,
whichever
somewhere up
one.
in that area.
Yeah, kid went to like McKinley or something, right? Or he went to Massillon, Washington, I think, or something. I mean, he didn't want to do anything else except be involved with Ohio State. And I
No,
think he wants to be the head coach here someday.
yeah, that'd be great. When Day retires after he gets 3 more natties, yeah, let Brian take over.
Be awesome.
I
Yeah,
did hear
man.
some bad news about somebody involving Brian Hartline today.
Uh-oh.
I was watching a little bit of McAfee this afternoon. They're at Radio Row down in New Orleans for the Super
Knowledge.
Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And, McAfee, West Virginia guy, Pac-Man Jones, West Virginia guy, happens to be his friend. In case you guys didn't know, Chris Henry Jr. was adopted by Pac-Man Jones and is a
Right.
5-star committed to Ohio State. Those two got to talking, and source said that West Virginia is getting a very good quarterback that can actually throw the ball. And then Pac-Man Jones responded with sources say that there is possibly a good chance that a great wide receiver will soon be joining West Virginia. And then Pat went on to say and kind of agree with the same thing. Obviously, McAfee and
No.
Pac-Man are great friends. Pac-Man is the, full custody of Henry Jr.
What you're getting at here is that they're saying Henry's going to flip.
Yes, because then Pat went on to talk about Chris Henry Jr.
Right.
It's very
All
scary.
right. Well, that is a little worrisome. He is a West Virginia kid, right? Chris Henry Jr. He lives in
Yeah.
West Virginia with Pac-Man.
No,
Do
he
they?
lives with Pac-Man. Yeah, he is he is basically I think Pac-Man is down in Cincinnati.
Okay. But just because of Pac-Man's West Virginia ties, you're saying that that's pulling on Chris Henry
Well,
that
and I think
direction a little
Rich
bit.
Rod got hired back there.
He
So
did.
it's
Yes.
gonna be run and gun, and now they have a legit quarterback.
All right.
So, and Rich Rod was also the coach back then when Pat and Pac-Man played there.
I just think that the Henry deal, his future is set in the stars with the Bucks. I mean, he comes in here not this season, he's the next year, right?
Yeah, correct. 2026.
So he'd be coming out. I mean, like Ennis would be gone then
No,
probably.
you'd still have Ennis. You'd have
Well, if he
Jeremiah
doesn't go
and
pro, I
Ennis.
guess you'd have
You'd have
Jeremiah for
Quincy
sure,
Porter.
but Tate
You'd
would be
have
gone.
Mylan Graham. So you'd have those four, and then whoever they. Well, I guess Quincy's part
Mhm.
of this class. So you'd have those four, and Chris Henry Jr. as a freshman.
I know. Yeah, I never like to write off the other younger guys who just aren't the top of the mountain, like
Oh yeah,
Mylan Graham. What was Mylan Graham, Ben? He was a
he was up
top.
there, buddy. I mean, he
Yeah, I
was
mean,
a very good wide receiver in his own right. He
stud.
was number
Oh
two on
yeah,
the depth. See, our wide receivers never really got hurt, but I think he was like number two to
right.
Carnell, maybe. Because I
Yeah, no,
think
he
Ennis was number
wasn't
two
back there
to
very far.
Igbuka, and Jaden Ballard was
Well,
in there somewhere, but obviously he didn't matter. See
we'll
ya.
see.
Enjoy Penn State.
Chris Henry Jr. is a huge piece of our future. I'm so excited about him. So I really
Yeah.
hope that that's all false. And if I don't know, I can't remember his name. I should have wrote it down. But we just got the top receiver in the 2027 class, Antavius
Oh yeah, I
something,
saw that. I always
number one.
some of those. I mean, when they're that far out, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time for other people to come up with NIL money
Oh,
anymore.
it sure is. But we'll be in the mix for it. I mean, it sounds like
Yeah.
we're one of those top schools. I mean, he's already saying he wants to be a Buck, so can't go wrong there. Wide receiver,
Yeah.
you baby.
Definitely is.
I love it.
Definitely is.
Joey
Hey,
says nobody's picking West Virginia over the Bucks.
I would agree with you, Joey. I would agree. I just get a little worried.
All right, Benny, I want to pick your brain here about the new offensive line coach. We know Coach Fry hit the road. He went to the NFL, correct? The Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals. Yep.
Going to rejoin Paris Johnson, his buddy there.
Yeah.
Develop those guys. He's getting a big old bag to go to the NFL too. So good for Coach Fry.
Yeah.
But who's this guy we just hired yesterday?
Tyler Bowen.
Yeah. What's up with Tyler Bowen?
He was the kid that played at Maryland, offensive tackle.
That's right.
He's kind of been all around. I mean, he's been everywhere from like Towson University, Penn State, a couple stops.
Penn State
Uh,
again. They keep coming up. He was there for a little bit, and he's
yeah,
coached all different positions, Ben, which is kind of crazy.
yeah. He's also coached. He was tight end coach for Urban for the Jaguars.
Yeah. He was a
Um,
quarterbacks coach along the way somewhere.
yeah. When he was with Penn State as a tight end coach, you remember Pat Fryermuth plays for the Steelers
Yeah.
now.
Right.
Got him the year where he had like 8 touchdowns and made I don't know like second team All American. He was also their director of recruiting, which we need because
Yes.
Morgan Phillips just left, who was our director of recruiting. She's going back to LSU,
Correct.
which
Now
yeah,
this
so
is this
we're
this is
hemorrhaging
good news.
coaches and recruiting people. So yeah, not great. But he was Penn State's director of recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
Brought in Tyler Warren. They're a great tight end. It's got to be top 15 pick. He brought in Olu Fashanu, who was like a
Mm-hmm.
top 12 pick last year, offensive tackle. And I believe he also brought in Abdul Carter.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he was mostly offensive director of recruiting for them. So I don't know how much he had to do with Abdul, but I know a lot of the good Penn State offensive guys last 3 years, he had a big hand in. So I think
Yeah.
that'll help with keeping the current offensive line commits that we had. Because this would have been Fry's best class he's ever had, no matter where he was. This
Mm-hmm.
class
Carter
right here would
Lowe.
have been his best. Yeah, I
Right.
can't remember the name of the one kid, but it's his highest rated recruit that he's ever got.
Mm-hmm. It's not Carter Lowe from Toledo. He's one down.
Might be. And I know they were looking at 2 kids for next year. One's like the number 1 tackle in the nation. And they were in the running for that big kid that ended up going to Tennessee, David Prince or
Sanders.
David Sanders. Yeah. So, I
Yep.
mean, he had us in that. But yeah, and I'm,
Well.
I'm curious what he's going to make because Justin Fry made $1 million last year.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Bowen has what was it? Virginia Tech. Yeah, that's right. Virginia Tech's
Yep.
offensive coordinator, and he was also their quarterback coach there. He was tight end coach and offensive coordinator the year before. This year was offensive coordinator and quarterbacks. He made 875 as an offensive coordinator. Fry made $1 million as offensive line coach. So I'd be curious because they have like a salary cap at Ohio State for like or a salary pool to
Okay.
pay all the assistants out of, which
Uh,
is why I think a big reason why they couldn't do the 2 point or go above 2.7 for Knowles. That and he seems to be a piece of shit.
and the fact that I think that was a lie. I don't even think we were trying to match. I don't even know if we wanted to
No,
offer anything. I think that was just saving face. We made him an offer, but yeah, I think they were parting ways there. So
no.
Benny, this Tyler Bowen, I'm very intrigued by this guy because, like you said, he's been the offensive coordinator at Virginia Tech the past 3 years. Pretty good offense while he was there, but he helped with quarterback coach, tight end coach, but he's
Yep.
now our offensive line coach. And this is what I think is a funny wrinkle. He's our run game coordinator. So
Yeah.
Fry had that title as well, and he's taken over that
Makes
title,
sense.
which is it's very important. I mean, that's all your running game schemes, all that stuff. So this
Yeah.
Bowen guy, but it
Hmm.
seems like he's got the resume for it. He's kind of a
Yeah.
guru, it sounds like,
Well, he
offensively.
see after he was like a GA at Maryland for a while. Then he
Hmm.
went to Towson, and they ended up as the #2 team, lost in the national championship at the FCS level. Then he went to maybe Fordham after that, and he was an offensive line coach there at Fordham. And I think they had some of their best years with him there. Um, and then
Tyler
I
Bowen.
think he went back to Maryland and was their offensive line coach there. And I think he was an offensive line coach somewhere else, and he's been like a tight end coach 3 times. I mean, he has bounced around. And
Yeah.
he's kind of worked his way up from a GA to like a tight end coach, offensive line coach, tight end coach again, like run game coordinator, things like
Hmm.
that. Offensive coordinator at Virginia Tech. I mean,
Hopefully he
every
meshes
job
good
he's
with
just,
Heartline.
what's
Hopefully the
that?
mesh is there with Hartline. Hopefully they work well together. I'm sure the Hartline was
Oh,
involved a
I would
lot with
think.
the
Well, think
hiring
about
of
it.
this
Now
guy.
you've got somebody there that's called plays. So you have Ryan Day who's called plays. You have Tyler
Hmm.
Bowen that's called plays, and I think Tyler Bowen's only like 38, 39. So he's right
39.
around.
Right, you're right. All
Yeah,
that bouncing around
right
we
around
talked about, and he's
Hartline's
not
age.
even 40. Hmm.
Correct. So him calling plays before Ryan Day calling plays before. I just think that's going to help Brian Hartline. Because Hartline's. I mean, again, 8 years. He's got to learn from a lot. Got to learn from Chip last year. He's got to learn from Ryan Day. Now he's going to have this guy, just another person to bounce ideas off of.
Hmm.
I I still think very highly of this offense. And
Me
what
too.
Jameson said earlier, think it was him, when he was talking about St. Clair maybe leaving. I think the person that's going to leave, if anybody does, is going to be Keenholz.
Yeah.
He's
I
got
mean,
St. Clair behind him. He's got Sayin in front of him. What's he going to do here? I think he's gone.
come in if we have an injury because it's nice to have
Oh,
depth.
good.
But I'm with you.
Devin
Lincoln
Brown again.
Keenholz.
I'm
No,
kidding. He
sure,
can't be
yeah.
worse than Devin Brown.
You
Keenholz was
you need
like the
you need
Gatorade
depth
Player
though.
of the Year in his state, wasn't he? Like he's
National.
not a shitter.
Ben. The whole country. He was the national player of the year. National.
All
Yeah.
right, well, that's a
He's
little
an
different.
incredible athlete. He looks huge too. He looks like he's gotten a lot bigger and stronger. I've always liked Keenholz. I think he's just a dark horse to make an impact here at Ohio State. I think he's a freak athlete, cannon
He has
arm.
to be if he was a Gatorade athlete of the entire
Mhm.
country. I thought it was
Oh, he's
just the state. I
disgusting.
mean, 1 out of 50 is still
Mhm.
impressive, but 1 out of 1, huh,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
won every sporting event in North Dakota the year he went there. He did win state in basketball as well, though. He did. I mean, he's an incredible athlete.
yeah.
Yeah,
He
this
beat
I'm
all
excited about Bowen.
312 people in North Dakota.
Exactly. He's the first football player from North Dakota to ever get a scholarship offer from Ohio State.
Jeez.
First kid in that state that's ever got an offer. I mean, I read about it. I mean, you can imagine the excitement though. You know what I mean? Like he's a
Yeah.
god there. It's incredible.
Which is so funny because you have North Dakota State and South Dakota State that are such great programs at the
Pretty good,
FCS
yeah.
level. I mean, they're always in the top four, always. And North Dakota
Mhm.
State's going to have an offensive lineman get drafted in the first round this year. I mean, these
They
teams
do
have
put in some
players.
linemen. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And
Because they develop
what's
guys,
his
man.
what's his name? They only played like a couple games. He's a backup, maybe third string for Dallas now. They got drafted by San Francisco super early. Can't
I
remember. He
forget.
was a quarterback, went like top four overall to San Francisco, but has never played. He's
Lance?
on Dallas now. Trey Lance.
Lance.
Yep, that's it.
Trey Lance.
Yeah, so they put guys in the NFL,
Yeah,
especially
they do.
linemen. But yeah, it's just so weird that those two programs are so good, but you never hear of anybody actually from North Dakota doing shit in anything.
Not often. Except Lincoln Keenholz when he wins us a natty.
Yeah.
Now we'll see what happens. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens. I
at
just don't
least
want
he'll
the
be a
QB
better
room to
backup than
empty out.
Devin.
Because Ben, if we want to segue over to transfer portal stuff, I know the next transfer portal window doesn't open until April, I believe.
I think
But
so.
there's not much on the shelf out there, especially in terms of quarterback. I mean, last year we were lucky to be able to get Will Howard. They were stupid enough to be letting him go. I mean, I know they had their young buck there coming in, but this year I've been looking around, buddy. I don't really see any opportunities like that this year.
Wait until people start to have spring practices and some of these guys start to see where they're going to fall in the depth chart and realize, oh
True.
shit, I'm a redshirt junior. There's some sophomore starting in front of me. I know I can play. I'm just not going to be able to play here. I don't have much time left.
Right. We'll see. There's not anybody that is near as high profile as last year. The couple high profile ones, the guys were already, it was like you already knew where they were going. That Washington
Well,
State kid that
yeah.
followed his coach to Oklahoma. I forget his name.
Oh, think of them, man. I mean, almost all the good teams. You had us with Will Howard. You had Oregon with Dylan Gabriel. You had Indiana with Curtis Rourke. You had Miami with Cam Ward.
Yeah. The
Hey, I'm
transfer
sure I'm
kids.
forgetting a couple. Well, and I mean, I guess before, but it wasn't last year. But even Quinn Ewers was a transfer.
Sure.
So,
Jaden Daniels.
yeah.
Everybody.
So a lot of the top programs had transfer quarterbacks. And you're right. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think there's much on the shelf right now. But I think once spring starts to play out, we'll see more people in the
Mm-hmm.
portal. I just hope with all
This
the coaching changes that we've made, we don't lose some of these guys in the portal. Because we just got those
exactly.
two great offensive tackles, the one from Rice, who's only like a redshirt sophomore, and a huge
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker from Minnesota. I assume
Correct.
Justin Fry had something to do with that. So I'm hoping
I know.
that
Hold your
all
breath.
these guys mesh well and very quickly.
I know. I'm scared too. I don't want to lose any of these guys either. Especially even Chip leaving. It's kind of, gets you a little nervous. But Hartline is such a good guy. I think we're good there. But yeah, hopefully nobody leaves. Um, yeah, man. A lot of moving parts. It feels like right now. A lot of things
Yeah.
going on. A lot of
How
things
many
in
starters
flux.
do we lose? 16,
Oh man,
17?
we are
I mean, I know
we
we
are
had other
reloading the
guys like
clip.
Arvell and Jermaine and Montgomery play significant minutes, but none of them started. I mean, other than Simmons and McLaughlin, we were lucky to have no major injuries all year. So a lot
Oh
of these
yeah,
backups didn't ever get the chance to start.
yeah. I mean, we're putting a lot of fresh faces in there.
Yeah, look at the
I do
backfield.
like the deep. Oh, I know. Yeah, totally new backfield. But you know how we roll. We'll be ready. Just shout out to a couple of the other coaches that are still on staff and hopefully mesh well with these new guys too. Yeah, Coach Lachlan, he's sticking around, right? And Keenan Bailey, the tight ends coach, he's still in
Yeah.
there too, doing a good job.
And I wonder with Tyler Bowen, if he doesn't, how about the tight ends a little bit? Why not?
Oh, I'm sure he
He's
will.
been a tight
Why?
end
Oh,
coach and has
absolutely. Yeah.
proven success as a tight end coach.
Hmm.
So, why not peek your head in that room every now and then? Or if you're a
Yep.
player, why not go talk to him? Especially some of these older guys, Kazmarek, Matt Clure, those guys that are going to be, gone next year. Why not go talk to him and try to pick up some helpful techniques when it comes to blocking? Because that's going to get you onto an NFL team, even more so.
Yep. Very true. Getting guys ready for the league. That's what we
Yeah.
do. Man, the
Uh,
grades on our guys are going through the roof too, aren't they? The draft grades on
oh,
some of our
yeah.
guys. I see Travion's just flying up the board, man.
Yeah.
His
After the Senior
leadership
Bowl,
qualities,
yeah, it was weird because
blocking.
he didn't even participate in the Senior Bowl. I mean, a lot of the guys were invited, but since they had a
Yeah.
4 week playoff, a lot of them just no, I'm gonna rest my body, which is a smart move.
Right.
But a lot of the talk around the Senior Bowl was that a bunch of GMs have Travion as their number two back behind Ashton, and some of them even said you could see him go as high as a late first, early second.
I love it. I think he'll definitely come off in the first.
But
I
the
think
only
old Will
problem is
Howard
it's the year of the
possibly too.
running back. I mean, this year you could get a running back in probably the fourth, fifth round that in a normal draft would go in like the middle of the second.
Really?
It's a very deep class at running back. Will Howard, I don't know. It's weird because some some sites and scouting reports have him outside the top 100. Some of them have him getting drafted in the early third. So I don't know. It's kind of, but I think after his interviews at the combine, people put on the tape of the playoff run. Um, I mean, there's things that we've seen it. He can make Sunday throws.
Oh yeah.
He's shown that. He does
Hmm.
maneuver the pocket pretty well. He is more
Oh yeah.
athletic than you would think by looking at that baby face. I think it took him a little time to settle in because first 6 weeks of the season, I was thinking to myself, I cannot believe this is the fucking guy we brought in to play quarterback at Ohio State. End of the year, completely changed my opinion. So I'm very happy for what he did. And hey, kudos to the guys that were coaching him too. That was awesome. Great job.
Absolutely. Yeah, great job by the staff, Coach Kelly, and our
Yeah.
new QB coach there, Billy Fessler.
Yeah. And
Did a real good
speaking of
job with Will.
coaches, there was one more that we have to give the salute to. Alan Clark, the assistant defensive line coach. That
Yeah, let's
sucks.
not forget him. I was really excited. I thought maybe he was going to be one to stick around and stay under Larry's tutelage there and maybe
Yeah,
become
maybe
the new
take
D
over for
line
Larry
coach.
because Larry's like 142 years old.
Man, that
You
guy
see
can
where,
still motivate the hell out of these guys, though.
but it
There's
makes
no
me
question
wonder
about that.
is the reason he left because Larry's made it known that he plans on staying here for at least another 5 years?
That's
Because
exactly where I went with
why
it.
would that guy leave when Ohio State consistently brings in talent on that side of the ball in the trenches?
Right.
That's
No.
immediately what I thought. Like, okay, if this good coach is leaving, he knows Larry's not leaving for a while. And did you see where Clark ended up?
Oh, he got a great gig. He went to Texas.
Yep. Outside linebackers coach.
Longhorns.
Him and Hero Canoe
Yeah.
are just chilling down there at UT with Matthew McConaughey.
All right. All
All right.
right. No, congrats to Coach Clark. That's a great gig. Yeah, linebackers coach at
Yeah.
Texas. It's
And he
great.
got a
So,
bump up in pay.
yeah,
So again,
sucks to see
I
him
don't,
go.
I don't blame these guys. I mean, look at Tyler Bowen, the guy we just hired. He's been to 6 different places, but every time, even
Yep.
if it was he went from being like an offensive coordinator, co-offensive coordinator back to tight end coach, but it was at a FBS program or a
Better
bigger
school.
program. He's still taking steps in his career. So yeah, when you look at it and you see that he's had like 8 different jobs at 6 or 7 different places, sometimes back and forth to a couple places. At
Crazy
first you
life.
just glance at it, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? He can't keep a job. And then you realize, like, oh, actually, he is,
Oh yeah. That's how all
continuing
these
up the
guys'
ladder.
resumes look. All the good ones' resumes, they all resemble the same thing. A couple
Yeah.
years here, a year here, a year here. And you just kind of keep
Yeah.
following guys. You're networking. You're just growing your coaching tree and
Yeah.
learning and
Yeah.
hoping that
Even
you
look
end
at
up
Urban.
at a bigger and better school. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Urban, crushed it here with what, Bowling
Yep.
Green? And then went out to Utah with Alex Smith, and I think had them
He
undefeated. And Florida,
and
a
he was a
couple of
GA
titles.
here first, right? He was a GA here. Went to
Yeah, he was
Cincinnati
here
as a
for a while.
player.
Mm-hmm.
GA here, safety or secondary assistant or something. GA, and then like you said, I think he
Yeah.
went to
So I mean,
BG.
people are going to bounce around,
But
and if you were Tyler Bowen, why would you not take this opportunity? Again, so you
oh,
went
it's
from offensive
huge.
coordinator. So some people might think it's a downgrade to now be an offensive line coach, but it's a massive upgrade. You were
Yeah,
offensive coordinator
you're
at
at Ohio
Virginia Tech.
State.
You're not getting Marcus Vick ever again. Okay, it's not
Right.
happening.
He ain't walking through that door.
No, just another terrible professional quarterback, but a great college quarterback. A real Terrell Pryor and Vince Young
Man,
or JT Barrett. Did you know
if you
JT
will.
Barrett is the quarterback coach for the
Yeah.
Detroit Lions?
Yeah. Speaking of coaching hires, good for JT.
Yeah,
No, it's
good for JT.
Bears. I think he's with Caleb Williams. I think he's with Chicago Bears.
Oh, is he really
Quarterbacks
with the
coach.
Bears? I was thinking he
Yeah,
was with
because
the Lions.
I remember thinking he's going to be coaching
That's
Caleb
right.
Williams.
He was with the Lions. Ben Johnson got him over to the Bears from the Lions when he got hired. You're right.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he went
Lions are
in.
like
I heard
go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I heard just to kind of be on the same playing field, just to level with Caleb Williams. He painted his nails before he walked in to meet him. Painted
Smart
"Go
move.
Bears" on the shade.
Way to assimilate yourself right in there.
No, yeah. Hopefully JT does good there. I mean JT. We all love him. That's a guy who I'd love to see come on back to Columbus at some point.
Mike loved him. Mike loved JT Barrett. I always told
Who
him he was a
wouldn't?
running back that occasionally threw the ball. And Mike would
Well, he's
always argue
smart.
that's absolutely fine. That's all you need. You
He's
just can't
brilliant.
call him a
Honestly,
quarterback.
I think he's gonna just keep moving up. I think he might move up to OC in the league. Maybe we'll
Probably.
get him as an OC someday. He's a young guy still, so
I mean, he's had to have done
JT
a good
Barrett.
job if Ben Johnson got hired at the Bears. You have a second-year quarterback, and the guy that you want to mentor him, you are taking him away from the team that you just worked for, giving a bigger and better contract to come in here and work with your franchise future.
Mm-hmm. Must really like him.
Yeah, I guess. I'll never
Me
forget that
too.
game against Penn State that he had. That was miraculous.
Which one?
I
Want to hit? He
don't
played
remember
so
if it
many
was
games
at the
for us.
shoe
It's
or if
crazy.
it was over there. It may have been over there because I think it was a whiteout. But where he won the game in like the last 90 seconds, real high scoring game, like 43-38 or something ridiculous. Yeah, I just
Good
remember the
memories.
fourth quarter. I think he scored. I think they got 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to win.
Insane. That sounds right.
Yeah,
JT was awesome. In his freshman year, remember how much he threw it his freshman year, though. I mean, we all think about him as a runner, but he could pass.
yeah,
He could
17
sling it around.
interceptions.
He is the all-time leader in passing yards at Ohio
Yeah,
State.
that'll happen when you're here for 9 years.
He still threw it around a lot, though.
Yeah.
Well, Benny, I think we about covered everything. Everything on my note sheet's covered. How about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Yeah, we can talk about recruits another time or some of these third year guys coming up. I think we
Yeah,
mentioned most of them
mention a
though.
couple.
Luke Montgomery, Caden McDonald, Jermaine Matthews, Arvell Reese, guys that we kind of saw bits and pieces of. Saw a lot of Luke more towards the end when he kicked Donovan out. And you did see Caden in there quite a bit in the big packages. And Arvell definitely
Absolutely.
played quite a bit. And Jermaine didn't play as much because Hancock was healthy this year. And, Igbinosun
Mhm.
was there along with Burke. So it would be exciting to see what those guys do next year. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to this new backfield as well. You got this turbo kid, Anthony Rogers. You got Bo Jackson
Mhm.
from Cleveland. You still got what's his name? Sam
See,
Peoples
I
Jones.
was just
Is
thinking.
that Williams Dixon?
Yes,
Yeah, because
Sam.
the kid that left was like James Peoples or something.
No, Peoples is
Okay, so it's the
RB1
other
right
kid that
now.
left.
Hunt Dix. I can't remember.
I
Hyphenated
know.
names always throw me off.
Yeah, I think
But
the
C.J.
hyphenated name is the one
Donaldson.
that stayed. Yes, but speaking of
C.J.
West
Donaldson
Virginia,
is the
yes, you
big.
got the tank in C.J. Donaldson, like 6'2", 245, Derrick Henry size,
Yes,
massive
right.
dude.
I'm
I'm
thinking
excited
that's
to
gonna
see
be
that.
that's the one
Pair
too.
him up with
Yeah.
the Turbo Kid. All right, boys, let's see what you can do. You're both offensive coordinators
Right.
now. You're working out.
Yeah.
You got
There
run
may
game
be.
coordinator.
They are gonna have to figure it out because it is kind of anybody's. I mean, Peoples has been earned. He's earned it. And everybody
Hmm.
likes him a lot. So I don't know. We'll see if Turbo how much he can get on the field. He's a super high recruit though, right? Is he 4-star or
Yeah,
5?
I
4,
think he and Bo were
high
both
4.
fours. Yeah.
Yeah, and Bo coming in. So yeah, there's going to be
Hmm.
some good competition there, man.
I think the spring
Good
game is going to
competition.
be one to definitely watch this year. Some
Oh,
years you kind of,
as
oh yeah,
always,
I'll
yeah.
watch the first half. I think this year
No
is
way.
going to be very, very interesting to watch.
Well, I'm with you. There are a lot of people coming into some new
Yeah.
spots. So
And,
yeah.
I mean, it's not just the young guys stepping up, it's the 2 new offensive tackle transfers. And like we just talked about, CJ Donaldson. Those 3 guys on offense, because, I mean, you brought them in here to do one thing, and that's start right away. So
Hmm.
let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, you gotta
And
love those
and let's
transfers
see
that
how the
come in just
quarterbacks
ready
do.
like that.
See how the
Oh, I
quarterbacks
know,
do.
man.
Keenholz, Sayin, and then St. Clair steps in. What if we just have a great battle? That's my best. I hope that it's not one guy just plays so far above. I hope that all three of them just are
That's true.
so phenomenal that it comes down to actually a very, very tough choice. That is a great thing to have a problem with.
No, that's absolutely correct. I hope that they all play amazing. I hope Keenholz is even challenging him a little bit, whatever. I mean, they're all great, man. That's what I'm saying. These guys are there's no slouches in that room,
No.
and I'm wondering if they do bring in just some other veteran to kind of lead the way there a little bit too, because Keenholz will be a junior. Is that correct? I think. Sand will be a sophomore, and then you got the
I think,
true
yeah, saying a
freshman.
redshirt sophomore.
He was a true freshman this year.
Really?
Yeah. Anybody out there in
See,
the
I
chat
didn't
wants to
think he
check
was
that out?
active because you can play up to 4 games and still get redshirted now. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, well, I'll have to look at it. Oh yeah, that's right. And Nolan left South Carolina.
Right?
Hilarious.
I think wasn't there another guy too? No, but I mean, there's so many quarterbacks. It's just the
Hmm.
turnover is it's
Yeah, I'm transfer portal NIL. That's why a lot of college head coaches are leaving for coordinator positions in the NFL. Why not? I mean, college football is a business now. So it's not just about dealing with everything else. Now it's NIL transfer portal. So you don't have to go out and recruit just new guys. You have to compete with the money from other schools, and you have to continue to recruit your own roster all year long. So you're recruiting 100 and some kids on your team already, and you're recruiting 50 kids out on the road every day of the year. How long do you think Ryan Day waited until making his first phone call to a recruit after holding the national championship trophy? FaceTime. You want one of these? Uh, yeah, yeah, he would do that night. Yeah, it's a true story. Fucking lunatic. Yeah, yeah. Um, Me too. Very excited for the spring game. Very excited for the spring game. And I'm excited for the. Go ahead. Sorry, my bad. You're kind of breaking in and out on me.
just to
Hmm.
throw out another guy at the tight end, right? From
Yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. That's what I said with Tyler Bowen being here now. Why wouldn't him and Kazmarak dip in there
yeah,
and Bennett Chrisman and Jelani Thurman, and then they're bringing in I think some 4-star tight end. So we're gonna have 5 tight ends in the room. But I believe, yeah. But I think Kazmarak and Fleur are definitely gone after this year. I think Chrisman got injured one year and redshirted. Jelani is another third-year guy like Montgomery and Arvell and Jermaine, and we all know that he bobbled his way to the greatest first down conversion in that run. So, God, it was
hey,
scary.
what's the Purdue kid's name again? I think I messed it up. What's the Purdue transfer
Max
name?
Klure,
Oh, okay.
Klure. Yeah.
Chlor. Okay. I said
Hmm.
Claire. Yeah, Chlor. Chlor. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
So
a stud. I'm so
because
excited about. I mean, he might be the
I just,
best transfer in the whole country. I think.
I don't. I think it's
Like,
a tackle out of Rice.
okay,
That is that. I mean, he's a behemoth. He can move, and he's only a redshirt sophomore. So you could potentially have him for at least this year, but maybe even 2 years to refine his technique. I
amazing,
mean, that'd be huge, and he's fucking huge. But yeah,
massive.
it's just I don't know because we know every time that 89 Kazmarak was on the field, he was blocking. So did they bring Klure in to be more of a like wide tight end where they move him around and throw him the ball? But I mean, I thought that's what Jelani was here for. And again, third year
Lonnie,
player, so let's kind of start work him in, and you still have 85 Bennett Chrisman. So I don't know. Another reason to watch the spring game just to see how the tight end position plays out.
Right. Jelani was a high recruit, but unfortunately, sometimes guys don't always develop into what you think they could be. Not to say that he won't, but
Yeah.
that doesn't stop you from bringing in more talent. You know
No,
what I mean?
and
So if Jelani doesn't become what we thought he could be, then I don't know.
yeah,
We'll have to just keep going to the next man.
like you said, and especially tight end, because you're effectively playing two positions. You're playing offensive line and you're playing
Yes.
a large wide receiver. But you have to
It's a
learn
crazy position.
every position because you
Mhm.
have to learn
Both.
slot, you have to learn the Y, you have to learn to line up in the backfield, you have to learn to line up out at X, you have to learn in line,
Sure.
you have to work as an H back as well because Ohio State uses these guys
Mhm.
everywhere. And Tyler Warren,
Yep.
the kid for Penn State, who's going to be a top 15 draft pick, didn't break out until this
Good.
year, his 5th year in college. He had over 100 receptions and, I don't know, an ungodly amount of touchdowns, but he didn't break out until his 5th year. So, yeah, it's a tough position to learn. So, I don't know. Maybe Jelani is starting to figure things out. Maybe he can work his way in there. It just seems like a plethora of talent. Again, if the worst thing
Hmm.
is they all look great, so be it.
Oh, right. Yeah. Hopefully, we keep using that tight end well. Hopefully, this offense kind of utilizes the tight end actually a little bit more. I know we did
Yeah.
have some great hookups though. G. Scott made huge catches down the stretch of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it just gets forgotten a little bit with the Bucks though.
Yeah.
We don't use our tight ends like some teams as much, but
He is the
it'll
one
be cool to
guy
see.
that they are talking about may or may not get drafted. Because currently, Georgia holds the record with 15 players drafted. G. Scott could be
Okay.
the tiebreaker because they are talking at least 15, possibly 16 or 17 Buckeyes get drafted this year. And
I'd
old
love to
Scotty
see us
Jr.
break that record.
is right on the line. Yeah. I mean, hell, it's easy to count to 10. Most places have 10 Buckeyes in the top 100. The only
Yeah. A
shitty
couple
thing
guys
is
even
most people have 4 Michigan players in their top 20, top 25.
Sonny Styles probably would have got drafted. He's coming back though.
Oh,
He's
Iggy
one
would have
guy
got
who is coming
drafted.
back.
Yeah, Iggy would have
Who's
got
that?
drafted.
Oh,
Igby
absolutely.
Nosen. Yeah.
I can't believe he's coming back. That's almost as big a shock as like last year when the guys were coming
Yeah.
back. It's crazy.
I know. I was very surprised. That's a huge help. Because, I mean, you're getting Jermaine, who's
Oh
seen
man.
snaps. So, and he's looked very
Oh yeah.
good. You got Downs and you got Iggy. I mean, you're already starting
I
off
know.
with one of the better secondaries in the country.
The best. I think we're already the best defensive backfield in the country. Like you said, Downs, Igbenogson,
Yeah, but
Jermaine Matthews.
Downs is
And like
kind
we
of like
said,
3 players in one.
he's incredible. And the guys behind these
Amazing.
dudes are nothing but five-star generals. I mean, these guys are studs coming in. Aaron Scott, Bryce West, who's the new guy, Ben, that's coming in, the new
Oh,
freshman.
Devin Sanchez. Yeah. Good Lord.
Sanchez. I mean, these
Ball
guys are
hawk.
all five stars. So
Yeah.
we're going to be,
And they
we
say
were,
that Devin Sanchez might start right away over these other 5 stars that they've recruited.
that's just poppycock, if you ask me. It's
Again,
impossible.
again,
But,
it's just a plethora of talent. You don't,
right.
you know, you just replace guys over and over. Get the turnstile out.
Mhm.
You want a 5 star. You want a 5 star. Just do the Oprah. You get a 5 star. You get a 5 star.
Just make them happy. Keep them happy, Day. Keep them in
Yeah,
town.
got to recruit your own team now.
Yep. Constantly recruiting. Constant battle.
Yeah, we need to get Mark Wahlberg on the phone. Get Wahlberg Chevrolet to start sponsoring some of these kids.
Yeah. Make some calls. Hopefully this guy, the Bowen guy, Tyler Bowen, you said he was like director of recruiting or something at
Yeah.
Penn State for a little bit.
Yep.
Hopefully he does kind of give our recruiting a little boost
Hmm.
with that or something. I
Yeah,
was
mostly
excited to hear
offense.
that.
Yeah, because again, Morgan Phillips, she was only here for a year, but she was director of recruiting at Alabama for a
Yeah.
while,
Huh.
director of recruiting at
Alabama.
LSU for a while, came here last year, and after one year, she's leaving to go back to LSU. I don't know if she hates snow and prefers the South, or if, because I can't imagine
Sounds like a
expectations are too
spy.
high.
Sounds like espionage.
The double agent, the double director. Didn't think
It's kind of
about that.
weird.
Let's have a chat with this woman before she leaves town. Put her in a
That's
dark
funny.
room.
Well, I hope the coaches have a good time on the recruiting trail and, keep this talent coming through as it
Yeah.
always does.
Yep.
Psyched, man. What do you think? We'll have a show in like a week, maybe a couple weeks. We got to do an
Yeah,
NFL
probably a
draft
couple weeks.
pre-show.
Yeah, a couple weeks, maybe, see what's happening, with these current commits, see if anything happens in the next couple weeks, if anybody decommits, anybody flips or anything like that with all these new coaches coming in. Because, it could work both ways. Maybe Virginia Tech or Akron had somebody that was going there that was a 4-star or something that now wants
Yep.
to come here and follow those coaches. And that's at least the nice thing about Fry and Chip is they didn't stay in college. They went to the NFL. So any kids that were coming in aren't going to follow them somewhere else. The unfortunate thing is, if they were leaning between Ohio State and one other school and it was like a flip of a coin and a tiebreaker was one of those guys, that's what you have to worry about. But I don't see anybody leaving Ohio State to go with Jim Knowles, old Batman.
Screw that guy.
He's like the Adam West Batman, too, the shittiest one.
What am I doing here? Am I the new defensive coordinator?
Kaplow!
Oh, I can't wait to play Penn State, man. That's going to be so
Yeah.
great. Hope we
I hope we
just
hang
run the
50
store
on
up
him.
on them.
Yeah, maybe here a couple weeks. Maybe towards the end of the month, combine time. Maybe check
Yeah.
in on if any commits flipped, or still got to find a defensive coordinator. You got to find an assistant defensive line coach. So that should give them time to do that and see how some of these Buckeyes did at the combine.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of check in on that and see how things are unfolding early.
Yeah, exciting time, man. Riding high, Buckeyes.
I know. Yeah, and that'll give us all time to go out and get some more national championship merch.
That's right. And we're working on some merch. I've been designing some stuff. We're trying to release our own stuff, Just some simple stuff, maybe with the logo, maybe a couple. I was working on a design, the Straight Outta Compton with the NWA guys. I was doing a Straight
Okay.
Outta Columbus with
Little
our
Easy E action.
crew. It was pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, so I got some cool design ideas, just trying to get a store going and kind of
Straight
capitalize
out
on
of
all this
Mirror Lake.
momentum. We don't want to work regular jobs, man. We want to be sports media folks. Want to work in the
You can
biz.
get
This is
a
fun.
on the banks of Old Tangy.
That would be a great shirt. Yeah,
Little river running through it.
little
Stadium right there.
Keith on the back, maybe, or a little KJ face on there.
Nope, just the Ryan Day beard. The dark, just for men, Ryan Day beard. No face, no nothing, just the beard on the back.
That would be kind of cool. How about, like Woody is known, you could just do like the hat and the glasses
And
and
the
like the
glasses.
tie, and then you could have Day
Yeah,
with like the
that'd be
black
good.
hat and
Just
the beard.
red shirt with the hat, glasses, tie, and white shirt over just
That'd be
a like
cool.
red. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Coach Day, man, we're gonna win another one with him. I just know it. You know what I mean? He's gonna be a
Yeah.
multinational championship coach.
I was so glad this happened because people were calling for his job earlier this season. And
Oh,
again, even if you want it to happen, who the hell are you going to hire that's better than him?
well, see,
There's
this is the
nobody out
thing.
there. There's
If
nobody out there.
anybody that's hanging in here and watches, and if you watch the show, they know, Ben, you're a little bit more of the realistic take on things, a little bit
Yeah, I
more.
skew
I mean,
negative.
there's nothing wrong with criticizing, or not even criticizing, just constructive criticism, just calling it like it is, like this could be better, this could be better,
Yeah, I'm
whatever.
not stuck in the
Um,
clouds. I look
right.
at things from an analytical perspective.
But even as negative as you would be on some things, maybe it's skewing it a little bit negative sometimes. You never once said about Day not being like the guy, and that's what I
No.
couldn't take. And that's where down there talking to fans, I only ran into a couple fans that
I
actually
saw
were
some of
taking it
those.
to that level, and I feel bad, Ben. I just want everyone to know that I posted the guy who had the absolute worst opinion of the day, and I feel bad
So
for that because
dumb.
he didn't represent Buckeye Nation at all. He was an idiot. He was a buffoon.
Yeah.
It was just the fire day. He's not even
You,
a real fan. I don't even.
you
He
know
was there
what,
with
though?
Tennessee people.
I appreciate those people because immediately I know not to waste my time having a conversation with this person.
Right.
And I
And
do
I felt
appreciate
bad.
that. I do
Hmm.
appreciate them being such a derelict that they are willing to come out and with 15 seconds, I understand. Oh, somehow we breathe
Right.
the same air, but our brains are not quite operating the same way. And you, sir,
Right.
will not get my attention any
And
further.
and I was even being a
Good
little bit of
day.
an instigator, you know? I mean, I was a reporter on the street down
Yeah,
there. I was
no,
not
you didn't.
instigating, but I would just say, what's your opinion on Coach Day? You
Yeah,
know,
that was it. It wasn't.
and
So you guys think Coach Day sucks? No, you didn't lead
right.
anybody into
Now I
the
was like, what do
question.
you
It was
think
just,
about Coach
hey,
Day? You
what do
know?
you guys think about Ryan Day? Get him out of here.
Yeah, there was only a couple of
Okay.
those. Like I said, most people, but most people it was like this. They were like, we got to beat Michigan, but yeah, I'm not ready to get rid of the guy. What are we gonna do? He's won so many games for us. He's a great coach. We just
Yes.
can't get over that hump,
He's a
and
great
but
coach,
we
and
won.
I think he's a really good human being. I really think that he
Yeah.
helps these kids. Like, I really think that it's not just like in
Mm-hmm.
on the field or like how to treat other people, but like in life and preparing them for like being out on your own. Like, you're getting money now, NIL, but when you go to the NFL, you're going to move to a different city you've probably never been to.
Yeah.
You're going to have more money than you have now, and you're going to be completely on your own.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to help. Got to mold young men. I mean, that's what it's all
Yeah.
about. Woody would
I
be
think he
proud
helps
of Coach
prepare them
Day.
for life.
Mm-hmm. No, they all love the
Good
guy.
dude.
He's in the right spot, man. Urban again. I want to give Urban a shout out. He
Yeah.
did hire the right guy. He left us in good hands. I knew it, man. We knew Coach Day was the guy. It just takes time, man. All good things takes time.
Yeah.
Now we're where we want to be, national champions, and I'm sure we'll get it done against that team up north this season.
Yeah.
So
I know. I would like them. Natty obviously would be phenomenal. Be absolutely phenomenal. But I believe a Big Ten championship is well within, reason. I don't think that's unrealistic at all. I think a Big Ten championship is coming this year. And if that happens, then we're in the playoffs again. And we'll see what happens from there. But I do believe this team is good enough, and the coaching staff that they're putting together is good enough to win the Big Ten.
I think so too, Ben. I think we got a
Yeah.
hell of a team coming in here next year. You know how this goes when we reload. These young guys, man, they are ready to rock. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's not all young guys. We got veterans, like we talked about. That defensive secondary is unreal. You got all kinds of
Yes.
experience back there. The D line, I'm very comfortable with who we've got coming into play on that D line everywhere, man.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait. Can the season
Well,
start tomorrow?
and think about it. We won this national championship, true freshman Jeremiah Smith. We won national championship with true freshman Maurice Claret. So who's going to
I
be the
thought
guy
about
this
that.
year? Huh? What freshman is coming in? Who is it? Is it Devin Sanchez? Is it Quincy Porter? I don't know. Who's it going to be? Is it
I love
Taven St.
Quincy.
Clair?
Might be, Benny. It might be. They might get in there and start competing, and they might seriously just be like, guys, it's Tavian, right? Like
Got to hand
Tavian's
him the
got him,
reins. Got
just
to
handing
hand
the
him the
keys.
reins.
That'd be wild, buddy.
Dude, that'd be. I mean, sorry saying, sorry Keen host, but we got games to win.
It'd be incredible. 3 years of starting Tavian.
Yeah, we'll see. Spring game. Very excited for it.
Me too, brother. All right, well
Yeah.
let's get back. Let's get back together and do one of these before the draft, like right after the combine or something.
Okay. Yeah, combine
Maybe,
is the end of this month, so maybe first week, second week in March, we'll all get together. Get Mike
oh,
back on the show, get him
yeah,
back in the country.
if not before, yeah. Hopefully he does get back safe.
Yeah.
But we might even do one sooner if there are some moves that are made. And like I said, there's going to be a
Yeah,
defensive
maybe get on,
coordinator
do
coming
something
in here
quick. If we
soon.
end up getting a DC, assistant defensive line coach, figure some stuff out. But yeah, if not, probably a week after the combine. Like I said, combine's the end of this month, and I think the 28th is a Friday, so first and second are Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, maybe Tuesday the 4th on March.
Yeah, that'd be great, brother.
All right, man.
I'll be there.
Always great talking with you. Go Bucks. We won a
Yeah,
natty.
man. Great breaking it down. Yeah, we won the national championship. This is amazing. I don't
Like I
know,
said,
hop on the
time to
computer
make
here.
merch and time to get some merch.
That's right, buddy. All right, yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Thanks for watching the Buckeye Show.
Yeah,
Me and
thanks
Benny and
everybody.
Mike and Joe all appreciate it so much. And we'll catch you here shortly, sometime
Yeah,
soon. Go Bucks.
go Bucks. OH.
IO.
IO, baby. See you back.
See you, Ben. See you guys.